everyone, welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you for clicking on this video to give it a watch. If you haven't already, please consider hitting that subscribe button and joining my YouTube family. Don't forget there's also that bell button, so then that way you're notified every time I upload a video. And if you wouldn't mind, please consider hitting the like button on this video and leaving a comment, because that way YouTube will push out what I'm putting out. So that will help my channel grow as well. Alright guys, today what I have for you is my DIY and crafting video from the items that you've been watching me haul. And when I haul them, I typically will talk about what my ideas are and what I kind of plan to do with the things. And today I'm going to show you kind of in the show and tell kind of way what I did. I'm going to be honest, I try to do some crafting videos. I love to watch crafting videos. I have some ladies that I just love them so much. I don't think I have it. Sorry, that's my pup. I can't do it the way they do it, so I am going to just do it show and tell style instead. So what the stuff I'm going to show you today is going to be the items I made for my kitchen, my bathroom, and my hot cocoa station. So a lot of it is gingerbread style or peppermint style, because those are the themes that I'm doing in my kitchen and in the bathroom. And so that's what I'm going to show you, is a lot of the gingerbread and peppermint type things. And most of the items I picked up are from Dollar Tree. I also have mixed in Target and Hobby Lobby and at least one thrift store find. So mostly though Dollar Tree, and I'll let you know kind of where the things are from during my show and tell. So let's get started on showing you the items. And my brain is like, where do I want to start? Do I want to start with my favorite item? Do I want to start with, you know, the other stuff? But I'm going to start on this side because that's kind of where my stacking side is, and I had to put, because I have a lot of stuff in front of me. So this is one of my favorites. A lot of these items were also inspired by a lot of the crafting ladies I watch, and I can't remember necessarily which came from which person. And so I'm going to try to tell you who I was inspired by when I made some of these, and I will definitely have all their channels linked down below in my description box. And so this is definitely one of my absolute favorites. And I don't remember who I got this from. I believe it was Whiskey and Wit. It could have been Creative on the Cheap, and it could have been Kristen K. And I can't remember which one. But I got this inspiration from them. I've used a different box. They used the Dollar Tree crate. I got this crate from Target. It came in a 2-pack. This is the larger of the two. And I actually got them, I think, for 50 cents because they were on such a markdown when I picked them up. And so I used the Dollar Tree vinyl, and I said fresh baked cookies. This is Waverly chalk paint. This is in, oh, I can't remember the color. One of the reds, and then this is obviously their white, and these are the gingies. You'll see a lot of these. I have another bag here, but so many of you helped me get these, and I use them in a lot of my crafts. So that is just my, you know, fresh baked cookie box. Now inside the box, these were just cardboard ornaments that I picked up at Hobby Lobby, and they were in a 2-pack. And so I just decorated them, well, I painted them first in, I believe this is in the nutmeg color. I do 2 different colors, territorial brown and nutmeg are the 2 gingerbread colors I use throughout my crafting. And then this is just the puffy paint that I got at Dollar Tree on top. So I made a little gingerbread girl, a little gingerbread boy cookie with a crooked, you know, bow, because that's how I would do it on real cookies anyway. I have the polka dotted tree and the striped tree. And inside I just did some tissue paper. And if you look on the box, on the handles, I just wrapped it in some baker's twine. I don't know if I love that detail, but it's on there now, so it's staying. And so then I just stacked, as soon as everything was dry, stacked my cookies in there. And now I have a little box of fresh baked cookies for some decor. That was decently quick and easy. You know, just the longest time is waiting for paint to dry. So I love this. These were 50% off at Hobby Lobby when I got them. They were more in the crafting Christmas section. And I think I spent $1.50, maybe $2 on the 2-pack of them. So not a bad deal. So, you know, altogether this was a very inexpensive project that came together in such a cute way. This came from Dollar Tree. It was just the tree. I have 2 of them here, and I actually managed to find a pack that had 2 trees in it, and so I hot glued them together, and I only have one little space here at the bottom, but it's the 2 that I hot glued together, which makes it very firm, I don't know, not flimsy, so it can stand up on its own. I was going to stuff it like a pillow, but I decided I didn't want to do that. I used this garland, was the felt that came in it, and the star came in it, but then they had kind of big button type ornaments to glue on, and I decided just to do puffy paint in the red and white. So that's puffy painted ornaments. You can kind of see them shining in the light, and I did one little dot on top, and I'll show you how I think I'm going to stand this up when I show you my gingerbread guys that I did in the same way. But that is just a nice big piece of decor that's probably going to go on top of my kitchen cabinets as soon as I get that put up there. This one was another one that was inspired by, I think this was Creative on the Cheap, and she took this Dollar Tree board. This is just a decal that's in Cricut Design Space, so free for anyone to use. It's actually the Dollar Tree vinyl. I did add a little gingerbread onto the cup that wasn't on there. I added that little detail myself, wrapped it in the baker's twine on the bottom, and added the 2 gingerbreads that I painted. And so now I just have this little stand-up board that could go on my hot cocoa station that says Cuddles, Cocoa, and Cookies. And so again, this was inspired, I believe Creative on the Cheap is the one who made this. Could have been Whiskey and Wit. Those are my 2 favorites, I think, right now. Bargain Bethany and the Daily DIY are always favorites, but those 2, Whiskey and Wit and Creative on the Cheap, they were gingerbreading it up. And so I just loved a lot of their stuff this year. So that I made. This one is also Cricketed and had the gingies. So this was inspired by a piece I saw at Hobby Lobby that you could buy, but when I went to go look for it, I couldn't find it, so I decided to figure out how to make it. And so I ordered these. They're very thin shapes that look like cutting boards, and I see now Dollar Tree has some going around, but I haven't found those in my stores. And so I just ordered this off of Amazon, and it cost more than I would have liked, but it was a set of 6 of them, so now I can make more for different holidays too. I painted my gingies, I wrapped some baker's twine, and then I just used my Cricut in different fonts to say Fresh Baked Gingerbread Company Cookies and Cakes Made Fresh Daily. It's a little crooked, it looks like in the camera, because, you know, I'm not perfect. So I think the cookies and cakes is a little bit crooked, but this is just another one to set in my kitchen, just kind of leaned up or on a one of those little stands for pictures in my kitchen that I've made. And then the other side is red because I couldn't decide what color I wanted my background to be, if I wanted it white or if I wanted it red. And so I have both sides. And honestly, if I wanted to put something on this side, I can, and have 2 different boards just to flip. But right now I'm just going to keep it as this. Now this piece I found at Walmart, so it's one of my very few Walmart things, and I painted it myself. And so it was completely just wood. And I went in, I painted the background white. I painted the cookies for Santa in red. Both of those were chalk paint, which I don't think was the best choice. I should have just used an acrylic paint because the chalk paint was really hard to work with. Doing that detail, I really struggled a lot with it. But it came together, and from far away you don't see all the imperfections. I painted the cookies in it was either the Territorial Brown or the Nutmeg Brown from its apple barrel paints that I got at Walmart. And I added the ribbon that I got at Dollar Tree around the edge. And then I decorated my cookies with puffy paint. And so I think it just came together really cute. It has 2 options on the back. You can hang it with the string, or you can just put it up like a picture. And I also bought some of the like easels from Dollar Tree, because I might just put it on an easel too, because I plan to put it up on top of my cabinets as a piece. And it could also go in the corner, but this is kind of big for my countertops. I don't have a lot of countertop space to use this much room, so I think they'll put it up on top. And then that way it'll be far away and you can't see all the imperfections from my paint job, because I'm no artist. That I am not. I'm not an artist at all. Now since they're on top, let me show you. These are probably one of my favorite pieces too. So these are also those big ornament kits that were gingerbreads that I picked up at the Dollar Tree. And I was going to stuff them, but once I glued them together and they're so not flimsy, I decided to keep them as is and not put the stuffing in them. And so I did a little boy and a little girl. And now what I did was the inside the kit, it came with green for the icing kind of on the arms and legs, and I didn't like it. And I tried to cover that with puffy paint, but the green was seeping through and I didn't like that either. So I just did the puffy paint to paint them myself. These were the these ones were the circles that came with them. And now I had 4 sets because I have 2 glued together to make the 2. So I had 4 sets all together. So I took 4 of the red buttons and did them as buttons, and then did them as his cheeks because he's my little boy. I used the eyes and the mouth, and I did little puffy paint dots, and I made him a little bow tie with the same ribbon that was just on the board. And it's not super even of a bow tie, but it works. And then I just hot glued all that on there to make the little boy. And for the little girl, I took, these were the cheek circles, and they were bigger than the red ones. So I just traced the red ones to make these smaller. And I took the 2 that belonged over there, but made them little girl buttons. Gave her a little bow out of pink gingham ribbon that I got at Dollar Tree, and gave her the eyelashes to make her look like a little girl. And now how I'm going to have them stand up. So if you watched before, you know I did a Christmas tree collab where I took 3 Christmas trees, put them all together, and made a tree out of them. I have that here to show you too because I'm going to put it in my bathroom. And I didn't use the bottom bases of those because I put them in floral foam inside a box. And so what I'm going to do is I got a dowel rod that came from Dollar Tree. I left a little opening when I hot glued the 2 together. So the dowel rod is just right there. And I have the base of the Christmas trees that I didn't use. And now I can just set up the gingerbreads, and they will just stand up. They are a little wobbly because the dowel rods are a little bit thinner than the hole. If I want to, I can use some hot glue and really stick that in there, but I think once they're up on top of the cabinets, they'll be fine. I'm not super worried about it. And so that is how I'm going to make them stand up, is by using the bases of the Christmas trees. So these are some of my favorites. I like that they're really big. I'm going to put them on top of the cabinets, so they're going to make enough of an impact up there being that size. So they make me really happy. Following the gingerbread theme, this is just something I painted. I picked it up at Target. It was a $3 piece. It lights up in there with multicolored lights, and it was just all white and ceramic, and I literally just painted it. And I used puffy paint on all the parts that looked like they were supposed to be snow, and on the lines here, and I used the puffy paint to decorate the gingerbread. I did the 2 different browns. So the background brown is the nutmeg. This is the territorial brown, just so that the gingerbread boy would pop a little bit more and not be the exact same color. And I just kind of decorated it like I would a gingerbread house. And I think that that came out super cute. Sticking with gingerbreads, because that is a big part of what I got going on, I made these little ornaments. So these were the coffee cup ornaments that came out around the fall time that I picked up a set of. And I did 3. This one I covered up the hole that's for the ornament so I could put it on a tier tray, and I just used the puffy paint at top to make it look like whipped cream and glued the gingerbread on there. And then these 2 I left the hole because I'm doing a tree that's a gingerbread tree, and I'm just going to use these as ornaments on there. And so that's why I did the 3 of them, and a little bit different because that one, like I said, I covered up the hole with just the puffy paint. You can see it on the back there. But so I love how those came out, and actually, again, I'm pretty sure it was Whiskey and Wit did something very similar, and I just saw it on her Instagram like really fast, and I was like, oh cute, I have those cups, and then I decided to kind of go with it, and I don't know if it's exactly the same or not. Alright, now I have my little jar of gingerbreads. I have one more thing I need to do. I need to do a little label on this, and I think I'm just going to Cricut a little label and put that on there of some sort. So this is a twofer. I got the idea from 2 different people. I believe, again, it was either Creative on the Cheap or Whiskey and Wit did I think it was, this one was Creative on the Cheap. She did it in the glass jar that came with like a Christmas tree and some snow at the bottom, and I couldn't find that one. And she has a printable decal you can put on top. And then Bargain Bethany did it more this style. So she used the plastic jar. And what Bargain Bethany did, which I borrowed her technique, was she glued her gingerbreads together to give them the height in there. And so I have 3 glued in a row. Oh man, now they're all stuck. And I put them in there, and it gives it the height so they're not all just like sitting at the bottom. And then I have a couple single ones at the bottom to fill in that space. But then that way they're just not all just like, you know, on top of each other laying down at the bottom. They're kind of all sitting up, and I liked that. And so now I'm just going to make a little label and probably put it in with all my little pieces for the, either on my tier tray or on the hot cocoa bar. because I'm going to use the little jars to hold like peppermints and that kind of stuff, and I might do the gingerbreads in with that. I haven't decided. And speaking of gingerbreads, I still have all these little guys that I painted. So it's a handful of them. And I think I might make a garland, attach them all with string or something like that. I haven't fully decided what I'm going to do with them, but I have them ready. Now for gingerbread houses, I painted these. Ooh, almost dropped that one. So what they are is in the kids section, the pink and purple houses, you know, the little play houses, and I just decorated them as gingerbread houses. I painted them first with chalk paint kind of as a primer, and then I went over it with the acrylic brown paint to make it look like the gingerbread house, and then of course with puffy paint to decorate. And then I had found at the thrift store some plastic candy canes, and I cut those to be the arches over the windows. I used the second piece of those to be the, well, I cut one in half to be the flanks of the door, I guess, and then one on top just to kind of, you know, look like it was decorated with candy. These are little peppermint pieces that I found at Hobby Lobby, and this was a little gingerbread button that I found at Hobby Lobby, and just put them all together and made a little gingerbread house, and these are going to go on top of my cabinets as well. All right, I picked up this milk jar at Dollar Tree and just added in some white acrylic paint. So it's hollow still on the inside, but I painted around the edge to make it look like it has milk in it. And I think what I'm going to use this for is my paper straws coming out of it, so it looks like it's a cup of milk with the straws. And then I got another one that I didn't paint that I'm going to put the candy canes in so that it has the candy cane kind of look on the inside and keep it clear. But that one is for my straws. For the hot cocoa station, these I actually picked up at Family Dollar, but they have the ones with the grooves at Dollar Tree. And I got these, they say sprinkles. The lighting. And so both of them are exactly the same. I did sprinkles, and I have red and green sprinkles that I'm going to put in those just to sit at the hot cocoa bar to be able to put the sprinkles on top of the hot cocoa. And similarly, this is cinnamon sugar that I picked up at Dollar Tree, and I just took off the label and I put on sugar and spice with my Cricut just to up it, you know, and make it look more festive than just having the regular label on it. Another just easy task, and I got this was inspired from DIY with Ash and More, Crafts with Ash, DIYs and More, something like that I think is her name. I've linked her before, and I got the idea from her. She Cricutted a little saying on hers. I didn't do that. I just did one with a whisk and then one with a spatula, and I added the little bow with the candy cane print. And so these can sit on top of my cabinets or next to my stove, potentially, something like that. And so they just look like little gingerbreads ready to bake and get going in the kitchen. So it was really quick and easy. Oh, and this one's holding a little peppermint. It's just a bead thing that I got from Hobby Lobby. And then this one's holding one of those candy canes that I picked up at the thrift store because it was just a really big bag of candy canes. And so I figured they'd each hold a sweet treat as well. Now this, I made this sign, Gingerbread Lane, to go on top of my cabinets. And what this was is two of those fall signs that said like harvest, I think one of them said, and like fall something or other. And I just glued the two of them together. And this time I used super glue. I don't always use super glue, but I decided to try it out. I ripped off the paper labels. It was actually, it left me with paper on it, but I left that and just painted it with chalk paint. And it gives it kind of a texture on it that I don't hate. So I left that on there. I painted the edges red and the top part white. I Cricutted Gingerbread Lane. And then these are three of the gingies I made. And this was the wooden stickers. They came in a whole pack of stickers. And I painted them with puffy paint. And to put that on there, just to put up on the top of my cabinets. So I liked the way that one came out. I think it came out really cute. And that was inspired by something I had seen at Hobby Lobby but didn't buy. So I made it for $2.50 if like you count all the little things. This tray I found at the thrift store. I think I might have paid $3 for it. Literally all I did was paint it red with the chalk paint. Made the Cricut decal right here with Have a Sweet Christmas. And then these are the two stickers that came from Dollar Tree, the little boy and the little girl. They're like the felt stickers that I put on the side. And I was between doing the felt stickers or the little gingerbreads, but I liked the felt stickers because they were a little bit bigger. And so this again is just going to go on top of my cabinets. Just, it's a bigger piece, it'll take up some room, and it looks really Christmassy and festive. I found this little, like, I guess a milk canister at the thrift store for I think $1 or $1.50, and all I literally did was Cricut on it with the gingerbread boy, and it's just going to go in my tier tray. But the little gingerbread person just, I don't know, makes it so Christmassy. I would never pick up this brown like for day to day, but I think it's so perfect for a gingerbread theme. And right along those lines, I cannot for the life of me find the soap dispensers, like the holiday ones, and there's like a gingerbread and a Santa and a Christmas tree. And I looked and I looked and I looked, but I never found them. So instead, I picked this up. I happened to see a brown one at Dollar Tree. So this is from Dollar Tree. And I did the same thing. I just put a little gingerbread boy on it, and it's just going to go next to the kitchen sink. And I feel like it will be perfect. It doesn't have the gingerbread scented soap. I can't find that. I'll look at Walmart and see if I can find one. But either way, I think it still has the look. And last for the kitchen, before I show you just a few of the peppermint items I made for the bathroom, Melinda, one of my awesome viewers, sent me these mugs, and then I decided I absolutely had to make the mug toppers. I didn't know if I was going to or not, but as soon as she sent me these 2 mugs, I decided I had to make mug toppers for them. And so I made the 2 different mug toppers, and I used the method from Lene. She's fashionably 50 something and beyond's channel. I don't know if she did a tutorial for Christmas ones, but she definitely did a tutorial for Halloween. And I took Dollar Tree spackle, mixed it with white paint until it got to a soft consistency, and piped it over half of a styrofoam ball and cardboard. And what I did is I did some hot glue on the bottom, because otherwise I feel like it slides a lot on top of your mug. So I did some hot glue kind of nubs on there, so then that way they won't slide off as easy. I took 2 of those candy canes I got at the thrift store, and then these little cookie ornaments I picked up at Hobby Lobby and stuck them in there. It'd be cute with some sprinkles. I didn't do sprinkles when it was still wet, so it doesn't have sprinkles on it. So it's just like this. And I feel like it looks just like whipped cream. Like, just like it. And so check out her channel. She has an awesome tutorial on how to make those, because that's how I got that one, was from her tutorial. I tried last year. It was a fail, like a fail. I used caulk from Dollar Tree, and it is terrible. So her way worked so much better. And just lastly for the kitchen, one of my ideas, I haven't done it quite yet. I have all these little ornaments I picked up from Hobby Lobby, and they look like little gingerbread cookies, and I will probably just cut the strings off and make them look like cookies over in my either tier tray or hot cocoa station, because they're really cute. And so I might really just make them look like cookies, or I'm going to put them on my Christmas tree. That is my gingerbread Christmas tree. So I have those, didn't use them for any kind of crafting, so I'm going to use them for that. All right, peppermint themed stuff. So because I think a lot of you watched my collab where I made this Christmas tree. If not, look for my Christmas tree collab video where I put this together. I did a crafting type video for this one, for that collab. And when I was making it, I was like, what am I going to do? Like, I don't really have a spot. I have a lot of trees in my house. And I'm like, you know what? My downstairs bathroom, I never decorate it. And I'm going to put this in there. I have a stand. It'll sit right on top. It's going to be perfect. And I'm like, all right, so now I need to decorate my bathroom with a candy cane theme. And so again, go watch the video on how I made that. That is 3 Dollar Tree trees and all Dollar Tree supplies except for 1 set of Walmart ornaments. With that, again, I couldn't find the soap dispensers, the cute holiday ones at Dollar Tree, so I made my own. And so this is just Cricuted on there with a little peppermint and candy cane that I'm going to put on the next to the sink in the bathroom. So I like that a lot. I made these little candies. Again, these were inspired, I think, by Creative on the cheap. So all they are inside are these little ornaments I picked up at Dollar Tree. And I wrapped them with tissue paper and tied them with string. The tissue paper I actually found at Dollar General, but I know that they have tissue paper at Dollar Tree too because I seen it. And then I just used the baker's twine with the colored So I switched over. I did just plain red on the candy striped paper, and I used the kind of candy cane look one on the red tissue paper. And so I have a little candy tray I got at Dollar Tree, and I'm going to sprinkle some of those on there. And I can use them as ornaments on my gingerbread tree too if I need to fill in some space on there. And then I got this one from Bargain Bethany last year is when I remember seeing her do it. And so I just took the Dollar Tree styrofoams. You get 2 to a pack, and painted them like peppermints. And so I'm going to put these somewhere in there. If you wanted to really do it up, you can get the cellophane and tie them with cellophane and strings, kind of like I did with the little ornaments. And then they look like peppermints in the cellophane. I might do that now that I say that. I didn't think about it until I was talking, and that I might do. Put them in cellophane. And then just kind of do a couple of them on the wall. I made 6 altogether because I had 3 packs of the circles. And you could do them like a border. You can do them just kind of on the wall sporadically. So, you know, possibilities are endless. And some of them are nicely even painted. And then some of them I had to fill in a spot because they weren't even. So I would have had 2 whites together. And so 2 whites or 2 reds. Like that one just has like that really big one. But hey, peppermints aren't perfect when you find them at the store. So they're not perfectly painted. I am not an artist. I am not an artist. And so I did the best I could. And I actually really love how those turned out. And I believe that's everything except for my fail. Let me show you my failed piece. So we all try and sometimes we fail at things. When you saw me haul this, you saw me talk about doing hot glue in it and then painting it. And this was, I saw on someone else's page. Again, I believe this was creative on the cheap. It could have been Whiskey and Wit. And I love the way hers turned out. And I do believe this would work, except for mine did not. So it is such a fail. It is a hot mess. You can see on the sides, and I don't know if it shows up as well on camera, but you can see where it did not, Gertrude, did not work out. But I think because I have a small hot glue gun, and it takes a while to warm up as it goes, so I had to do it in batches. And you can see where it just didn't do it right. So that was my fail. It didn't work. But that's okay. I can get a different hot glue gun and do it if I have time, but I've just abandoned that one for this year. And then my last thing is I haven't framed it yet because I didn't find another one of the big frames at Dollar Tree, but I did pick up this beautiful bag at Dollar Tree thinking I will frame that and put it up in the bathroom because it is so pretty. And just cut it out, but I haven't been able to show that because I didn't find the frame yet. The big frames are hard to find. They're like the 11 by, is it 11 by 16 maybe? 11 by something. They're like the nice big ones, and I couldn't find it. So that is my thoughts on this, if I'm able to find the frame, or if I can cut it out where it looks nice enough and just put it up, or get some like wood planks and just do like a wood, like, you know, do the like stir sticks or something and paint them and do like a little wood frame that way if I get the chance to do that and have time. So that is my last idea for that. So guys, that is my DIY / crafts that I did for my kitchen and my bathroom and my hot cocoa station, and now I finally get to use them to decorate because I'm showing them to you. And so stay tuned for my little tour of them as they're all put out and kind of what I did with them, decorating with them. I saw one of my comments. I haven't commented yet back, but I love the way you worded it. It's kind of like the appetizer. Here's the appetizer of the stuff, and then you'll get the entree of it all put out next. So again, please subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that like button, leave me a comment down below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!